Howdy, howdy, howdy! It's Monday the 23rd, and it's the first Monday that I will be streaming at 11 a.m. Pacific time, which is right now. And this is just commercials, so let me mute it real quick. It's not really the vibe I'm going for. Okay, so yeah, this is the first Monday of the new routine. And if you are here live, then that means you were probably able to get the message yesterday when I did my Sunday stretching stream, which is just around the end of the solstice, second half of the year, and basically entering technically summer, which I always think is weird because I feel like it's warm way before summer technically starts, and then it's cold when summer's still happening, if that makes sense. Anyway, so I decided that the first half of the year is darker and it's cold, and so it was more convenient for me to stream at night because I wasn't really going out during the day, and it got dark so fast anyway. It was like, we might as well do something inside versus to like going somewhere and doing something and then coming home. So that's kind of why I started streaming as late as I did. And then also I wanted to try and align my streaming time with multiple time zones, so all the way across the United States, essentially what it would look like out on the East Coast or like the Midwest and so on, and then also in like other countries as well. So I picked 6 for that reason, because it seemed like it was a good time for a lot of the audience that I think I would have in my head, that I might have, or in my head, but since I didn't really think it through, I guess it hasn't been the most convenient time in a while. Hasn't been the most convenient time. So I think what I'm doing is going to be better for me right now, and I don't want to be super selfish about it. So if you are someone that was benefiting from lives being at 6, let me know. Drop me a message in the chat, or even just like a whisper or whatever. But yeah, right now I think building routines has always been one of the main focuses of my health and wellness philosophy. And I think that when it comes to obviously doing exercises and things for your body, you really need to go with what your body naturally is gravitating to. And my body is naturally gravitating towards not doing streaming at 6, if that makes sense. It's just not the headspace that I'm in at 6. And even if I was like wanting to work out or wanting to do exercises, I still would have that like conflicting feeling of like, I also could be doing these other things that I'm not always going to have an opportunity to do, because where I live, it's like touch and go with the weather. Like, it might not be sunny, like even though it's summer, it might not be sunny all week, and then it'll be sunny for like one day, like a Wednesday. And it's like, if you don't go out on that Wednesday, you're not going to be able to get any sun the rest of the week. And there's really no way to know when it's going to be like that. So yeah, maybe that's just unique to my area. I'm sure it's pretty unique to my area, but I hope you are also taking advantage of the daylight and the warmer weather and being able to like use that. Hi. I don't know if you said anything, but I can see that somebody typed something in the chat. I was basically saying this is a new stream time, so if you're here, hi. This is just basically a stream where I do stretching, mobility exercises, and try to do something like physical and healthy for the body while you're at home or wherever you are, or maybe just give you some ideas of how you can do that for yourself later. But the idea is that you're doing these with me, and then if you have a question or something comes up, you can like ask, which would mean I could read the chat, which I can't, but I could. If you want me to respond to you in the chat, just like type one more thing, and then I'll get up and I'll look. If not, I'll just keep going, because I can see there's something there, but I don't know if it's just like a hi or if it's an actual question. There's probably a little bit of a delay, but okay, I think we're good. So yeah, basically, I hope you're doing this with me and not just watching, because if you're watching, that means you can totally be doing it with me. That's the whole point. Like, I have something on, you have something on, we're sitting here, we're doing these stretches in 1 hour your whole body will be stretched out or will feel mobilized, and then carry on with your day, right? And your day will be better if you do these things. I promise you, your day will be better. I feel like the only reason why your day wouldn't be better is if like you missed doing something else because you did this instead, and then like, you know, you're missing something. But that's pretty much it. So right now I'm just kind of warming up my legs before I get into the full movement, because that is something you always want to do when you're planning to be mobile. You don't just hop into it. Nothing ever is like that when it comes to physical motion. When you learn how to walk, you don't just start running, right? You slowly get there. So it's the same with mobility. You don't want to just quickly start moving into a motion. You want to make sure you can hold the stable positions, like I like to call them like the checkpoints in the movement. So this will eventually be me making my knees go back and forth. Right now, I'm just trying to make sure that sitting like this is comfortable enough for me to get here and then push back to the other side. So if I say I'm sitting like this and it's not comfortable, then I probably won't be able to do the full wipe, which is not necessarily the end of that exercise, but just something to be aware of. So also right now, I notice this leg is a lot tighter. That's because I have tight quads and my foot's flexed out. So if I turn my foot in like that, it is easier for me to sit like this, but maybe not so good for the wipers. Okay, and then the other one is to switch behind you. So before the knees were going forward, or the feet were coming this way, and now they're switching behind me. Once I actually do the full-on exercise, you'll see what I mean. They kind of look the same when you're just stretching them, but when you actually do the motions, you can see the difference. Okay, so this one, I'm going to be on all fours right now just so you can kind of see how this goes. But obviously you don't have to be on all fours. So my legs are going to do this. Like this kind of side to side. Like literally like think about like a windshield wipers on a car. They're just like going side to side, side to side, side to side. So when I'm sitting like this, they're on this side, and then I'm coming up this side. So I'm not coming all the way up like before. I'm just kind of giving myself enough push that I can switch them behind me, completely sit down, and then come back. So this is good mobility for your hips. It's good for your thighs. And it can be good for alignment with your back and your hips if you're doing this correctly, which is what you should always be doing, thinking about how your body is stacking. And that's why we start with the stretch, to make sure that you're able to sit correctly. If you're like leaning more to one side or the other side, or like I said, for me, one side's a little tighter, then that's the room, the range that you'll need to work in to get better. But yeah, so these ones are behind you. I think I already did 10. I'm gonna do like 5 more because these actually feel really nice today. I think I said yesterday in my stream that I had like a really busy week last week and my stretching game was not where it should have been. So I'm really like appreciating it right now. Okay, I'll do one more on this side. Okay, so now my legs are behind me, right? I'm gonna come up and now they're in front of me. Hope you can see the difference. So my feet are now in front of me and I'm sitting, same thing, Z-set. Can tuck my foot under if I want, or I can keep it out here. This is more flexibility needed. And then I use my hands to hold myself upright because I have really tight hips, and that's why I actually really need to do this exercise. So if you don't have really tight hips, it's probably a better challenge for you to do this without your hands. But like if I try to do this without my hands, like that's what it looks like. It doesn't feel as smooth, and I feel like my butt is like sliding forward. I should be able to stay in like the same spot while I do this. So I'm using my hands to ensure that my alignment is correct. If I didn't use my hands, I'd be able to do it, but I would be like crunched up and my alignment wouldn't be conducive for the safest mobilization. Practice it the right way, then your body will automatically do it the right way when you need it to. If you don't practice it the right way, your body's not going to have any muscle memory, and then when you fall or like you need to catch something or like something happens, your body's going to just, it's going to spaz out because it's not going to know. It's not going to have an exit route. It's not going to have any muscle memory, and it'll go to like a default of something you do or have done in the past, which might not be good. So just making sure that your body is always aligned correctly really prevents a lot of injuries. Just 'cause, again, your body's like, oh, this is my equilibrium. Okay, if you notice, I kind of just moved into knee taps here. I probably should have said that. And honestly, like, I did that because I was doing this, right? Coming all the way up. I noticed that I was actually doing the thing where my body wasn't aligned as I was talking. So then I was like, okay, let me just work on that. As I was saying it, I was doing it, but I didn't tell you I was doing it. So that's why I just started doing these knee taps. Because I realized that it's the outer leg, the leg that's bent, that's giving me the trouble in this Z-sit when I try to do them both at the same time. So I'm just tapping my knee to the ground. This is pretty tight for me. This is like just below uncomfortable. Like I can sit like this for a decent amount of time, but like I wouldn't want to. It should be easy for me to do that. This side is less painful, but I also can't really touch the ground. If that makes sense. It's like it's not flexible in a different area. But I can feel it like on the outside and the inside of my leg. Like right here on my hip and then like right here as well. So take note of that. If you have something that feels tight, pay attention to how it relates to the other side. Because like I said, this one I can put it all the way on the ground. I only feel like right here, which is not even the same spot as the other one. It's just like right under my butt cheek. And then this one, yeah, it's like through here and like right here. That's crazy, right? Same thing, just different leg. So that's a very clear sign that something's not aligned, or obviously things aren't even. One side has been doing something the other side hasn't been doing, and that could be overworking, could be compensating for something. Oh, okay, that actually felt really nice. So I kind of opened up my hips a little bit with that one, did it behind, and I did a couple of these. So since I'm down here, I'm going to do some of the other hip mobility exercises that I did before. And I think I'm just going to use this. It really doesn't matter what you have. You just want to make sure you have like a marker of something to make sure you're getting your foot up high enough or as high as you want it to be. And to make sure that you're not losing track of the distance that you've been doing it. But this is for your hip flexors. So it's going to make your hips stronger, and it's also going to make your lower back, if you have like lower back tension or anything, it'll help with that as well. It's one of those things where you're supposed to have a back obviously as straight as possible, but it's planted evenly on the ground. And then of course, best way is to be able, or the hardest way is to be able to do it without holding yourself on the ground. But if you need to do that, you can. So it's just pulling it out. And again, the distance and the height is based off of your skill level and your comfort level. So if you want to make it harder, or if this is like, you're like, oh, that's not very far out, I can bring my leg like all the way out to here, then you can do that. I am not the most flexible, so I'm not going to push myself to pull my leg all the way out to the side, but there we go. So again, this is just a way to like see, make sure I'm even with my spacing and I'm not moving or traveling. The height stays consistent. When you start to get tired, it starts to get lower, or you start dragging. Okay, so it's that side. That was at least 10, I know for sure. And then I'll do this side next. one. Right. So again, the reps is up to you. I don't really do the whole gym sets thing when it comes to mobility. For me, it's about flow and balance. So I feel like I do 10 on each side, then I've got the balance on both sides, and then the next thing comes along. If I try to like bounce back to it later, it just feels kind of like, yeah, counterproductive, but like I'm going backwards. Okay, whew. So that had to be at least 10. I think I was doing 20 on each side. Tell me if you were paying attention, if you were counting, but I think I was doing at least 20 on each side just now. Okay, next one. Already seating. We're already sitting. Words right now. We're already sitting. I'm gonna come in this way because I haven't done this yet. Slowly stretching as I go instead of like all at once like I do on Mondays or Sundays. Anybody got any good plans today? It's a very Monday. Actually, I don't know what Mondays are like for other people right now. I have that teacher Monday status where school's out, you know. So it's like life when summer is really in bloom, which, you know, for teachers and students is like in the summer. It's like a whole other world. It's like the possibilities are endless. And even though y'all know I haven't been doing work lately, it just feels different. Like it feels like summer. I mean, obviously it's the weather too, but I just feel like the same options that were there last month didn't sound as good as they do this month. Okay, so I did these. Oh, I didn't do these yet. I'm just gonna do 20 of these. I'm trying to travel so you can see me, and I'm also going to do different exercises. Okay, so this one, I have always wanted to be able to do it. It's more of a personal goal than it is a necessary mobility exercise. So you don't have to do this one if you don't want to. You can just do an added stretch or put in your goal stretch here or your goal mobility exercise here. But I really want to be able to do an L sit, which is when you hold yourself up and your legs are completely off the ground, so like this, but both legs. I have not been able to do it. I tried it on stream a couple of weeks ago, and I held it for like 0.5 seconds. But yeah, so basically I used to think you have to like hold your hands behind you and like do this, but you're really supposed to be more of like a, kind of like this shape. Not, this is like exaggerated, but your hands should be up in front of you, and in that way like your weight is kind of balanced, like, you know, one of those scales. So like this. And okay, so let me see if I have my blocks. Yeah, so the blocks, anytime you're trying to do something to lift yourself up off the ground or push yourself into the ground and you're having trouble with the strength or the range, flexibility, whatever it is, bring the ground closer to you. The same thing when you're trying to touch your toes or do the pancake and you can't bring your stomach to your chest or to your legs yet. You can put a pillow here like this, and now my stomach is closer to my legs. Even though it's not, the sensation is there. So now my body has the ability to kind of relax into the proper form, instead of like hunching or being tense because it's trying to just hold something and not really getting the full range and being able to like settle into it. So yeah, put something there to bring the ground or the surface closer to you, so your body gets to have the full sensation of that particular pose. And then the more you do it, the more you will notice that you're able to get in that range. So that's what I'm doing here. I want to be able to hold myself up in an L sit, but bringing my legs up is really heavy. So I'm gonna bring my hands up. That way, bringing my legs up a little bit, I'm gonna be higher off the ground, so it should help with that. Okay, so I'm actually just gonna like push my hands first. She's like, what are those? I'm actually just gonna push my hands first and then see if I can lift my legs. I'm doing it! I'm doing it! Ah. Woo! That's actually great. Yeah, use the blocks, man. Use the blocks. That was nice. I think that was my longest hold. Like, I still need the blocks. I'm not gonna lie. I think if I try to do that without the blocks, nope. Even just like, I can tell before I even do it. Like, these are really helping me because I have the ability to like lock my arms out. Like, I feel like this. I try to lock my arms out. My feet are still like completely touching the ground. When I do this, I let my hands out. Yay! Well, that's exciting. That's exciting. Okay, so I got the L-sit with the blocks. If you're wondering where I got these blocks, by the way, these are not like standard yoga blocks. These are specifically for like calisthenics and like hand balancers. Like, if you know what that is, it's basically people that do things, acrobatics, upside down. And so for the same reason I said, like, bringing the ground up closer is really helpful. And obviously having something that your whole hand can grip is really helpful. So if you're like, oh, I'll do that with my yoga block. Like, you can for sure use it as a surface, but like also just keep in mind that like this is essentially like small enough for me to wrap my fingers around. It is 3 inches tall or wide, however you want to say that. It's like 3 by 6, and I only say that because I actually have 3 inches tattooed to my finger. So definitely this is 3 inches. I can't really tell because my hand's not that long, but I think it's 6. It's 3 by 6. If you're curious. Next thing was opposite side. Alright, so back this way. Now I'm going to be doing things like this. She's always like right where I need to be. And she does it on purpose, but it's like, I don't know. She doesn't do this when I'm not recording. She'll just like sit next to me or something. Alright, so basically, this is going to involve me lifting my leg like this. And I don't feel like I stretch my quads out enough to do that. So before I get into that movement, I am gonna like pull one leg out so I can focus on my quads specifically. And that's kind of what you're gonna have to do regardless of your exercise. Is if you know your body is tight in a specific area, or that if something just feels like you need to like give it attention first, do that. Like, you might not feel like your quads are too tight to start doing this, and that's fine, that's good. But I personally can tell, like, my quads are already tight. So if I try to do that, I'm gonna be putting way too much stress on them, and it's really easy for me to just stretch them out a little bit more. So again, I'm only doing this right now because that's what I'm noticing in my legs. If you notice something when you saw me get down in that position, then just kind of get ready to bring your leg up. If you give that a try and you notice something, maybe it's your back or your wrists or anything, your knee, then give that attention. You are going to be on your knees, so maybe if you need like something soft, I have like 2 rugs and a carpet, so it's always really soft for me. Okay. And this one I started adding in on Sundays, just like pulling the leg back like this. Right? And then I'm gonna switch. I like doing this when I'm seated. Some people, like, you can stand up and hold your foot, like use the wall as like a rest or balance. But I like to do it when I'm seated or laying down, like you guys know, because then I can be as lazy as I want in it, and that helps. The gravity pushes me down rather than having to focus on holding myself up and balance and alignment and all of that, right? So if you can, if I can, I like to do whatever keeps me as lazy in it as possible, right? Don't work harder, work smarter. If I can get a better stretch laying down than I can standing up, I'm gonna do that. commercials here. Messed up, man. Messed up. Let's see what this is one. This is acoustic pop. Okay, now I'm gonna go back up into this one. So maybe you already started, maybe you were good to go, but let me go. I'm gonna do 15 minutes. Okay, switch sides. Can't tell if my form is good or not. Little doggy. Okay, pause, gonna shake that out. Gonna go back up into that same thing and then add another motion to it. Y'all know the drill, slowly building up into a full flow. Okay, so now that I'm here, I just did this straight up. I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna kick, down, kick, bend, down, kick, down, kick, down. I have to do it slow in order to make sure I'm like doing my form right. If I try to do it too fast, also, I'm kind of leaning to my left a little bit too much. So pay attention to that. If your alignment gets a little too out of whack, okay, switch sides here. Last one. Hi, Kitty Bean. She hasn't been eating. I gave her too many treats and now she's like starving herself for treats. So she has food downstairs and upstairs and she just like won't eat it. She does this like every couple of weeks. It's my fault. I shouldn't give her human food. I shouldn't give her that many treats. For whatever reason, she'll get caught up on them one day. Okay, last one is gonna be, instead of just going up, kicking out, and this part is very hard, so I'm not gonna try and make it sound easy, but you're gonna go up, out, over, back, bend, down. So it's like, you come all the way up, you kick, go to the side, back down, like this. Like quarter of a circle. Here, 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 here. I don't even know if that looks right, yeah. I'm leaning too much to my left. I better not get TOS for this shit, because this doesn't even sound... Let me just turn it off. This is actually good. Like, if I get TOS for this song, I'll be so pissed. I'd be so pissed. Okay, let's see.
When I switch to T-Mobile, you'll give me an iPhone 16 Pro. I'll pay off my old phone and still get the keep it. That's right. No trade.
You just want to be like me. Okay. We get it. We're just gonna hopefully show up soon. I'm gonna do 5 more. I don't know what number I was on before. As long as I do at least 10. I think I usually end up doing like 15 or 20. But the goal is always to be able to do at least 10. Okay, this is the last one. Pause before you switch. Pause before you switch. Alright. Same thing, opposite side. So curve, out, to the side, back straight, curl, down. Ooh. I need to scoot over a little bit. I have a little one in my butt. Specifically on this side, though. It wasn't necessarily the same on the other side. Oh my goodness. I hope that was 10 because that booty cheek was burning. Just this side. The other side hurt a little bit, but that one was like intense. Okay. So these are the ones I did on the ground. Just to recap, if you were not here for it, we did the Z-sits in the back, legs switching behind you, and then we did the Z-sits in the front, legs switching in front of you. I also did these buddies, checking in with the hip flexors and sorts. And then another one forward here. From there, I practiced the L-sit with the blocks, which I am not going to do again right now. And then from there, I went ahead and did these ones, and then I switched to this. And then the last part, I added the full kick out and down again. So that's as far as we are right now. Now I'm gonna pop up into the squat. I don't know, sumo squat. Say it's the world's greatest stretch, and it is something that every human should be able to do forever, not just like little kids or people from certain cultures. It should be a natural resting pose, and actually be able to rest in this pose. If you saw me in the beginning of my channel, like 6 months ago or so, when I started actually doing this, I could not hold it. It was very painful. My legs weren't as far apart as they are now. I wasn't as low as I am now. My back wasn't as straight as it is now. And considering that, I think the thing I've noticed the most from practicing this stretch is that it's actually comfortable to sit like this. And I never really considered that. Like, I always thought it would just be like like maybe sitting in like lotus or something, where you're just like, okay, this is good. But like, it's actually like a relief to be able to do this. Like, if you don't have like a chair or something, and you can just like come down and squat like this, it's like, oh, I just took a seat, and you're not actually touching the ground, so you don't get anything dirty, which is nice. But once you've got that all good to go, honestly, you could just go into a curl from here. I'm not. There's no reason for me to do that, but you could. And then I'm gonna just pull one leg out, stretching on the side first. Check in with one side and then the other before I move into the full mobility exercise per use. And then switch sides. You should be able to glide over to the other side. After you do the sumo squat, gliding from side to side, at least initially, just moving into one and then slowly moving to the other, should be achievable. It shouldn't be like difficult. If you have trouble doing that, then stay at the sumo squat. Picking one side and then resting in it isn't going to be as helpful as just pressing them both at the same time. So just stay in the sumo squat until you feel like your hips are open enough to pick a side. And then see how I'm kind of like slowly moving in between, and I'm trying to stay low. Like, I could come all the way up and do that. That's a lot more work. It's less flexibility, but it is more work. So the goal is to be able to just kind of like literally like get really low and like glide from side to side through this. And of course, keeping your back flat, whether that's facing forward or keeping it upright. But staying low, keeping your hips open as you pass through. Okay, I'm gonna do 3 more. Last one. When you get here, pause for a second, and then you're actually gonna drop your bent knee to the ground, like I just did there. Pop on up. This is your chance to make sure your hip is straight, aligned. You don't want to be like this or like this. So just make sure it's kind of like completely aligned. I like to say, like, make sure your body is aligned with the wall. That's how you know you're straight. If you're completely upright with the wall, you're not like this, then you're good. So now I just basically went up onto my knee. This leg didn't change, and I'm gonna sit now. So when I sit, I'm actually sitting on my foot. My front leg is completely straight, facing forward. My back leg, or my straight leg, I can either have it pointing this way, or flex. They're all slightly different ranges of stretching, which honestly, this could be a mobility exercise in itself right here. Just like checking in with your hip this way. I can't do it outside. I don't know if that's a thing or not. Should I be able to do this? Anybody know? Should I be able to come back all the way? Ooh, I think I should. Oh no, I think I should. So that's another range. Check in with that range later. Okay, so just checked in with the hip on its own. Now I'm just gonna do 10 to 15 of these, just up and down. Do you hear my hip popping now? That's crazy. Okay, I'm gonna do one more. Alright, when I come back up now onto this knee, straight leg, I'm just gonna pull it in. Now the heel of my foot, my ankle is aligned with my knee. And I, again, want to try and keep straight lines. Straight here. And I'm just gonna slowly dip into this. Try and do this 10 to 15 times. Okay, so that hopefully was 10 at least. I just made my legs straight again, came back down to the seated position, and now remember we came here from the sumo squat that we went then to the deep lunge. So I'm going to have to bring this knee back up. I'm going to put my hands to the ground and I'm going to just push backwards onto my toes. I don't know if you can see that. Now that I'm back to the sumo squat to the left, I'm just going to curve back to the right. Drop the knee, take a seat. Same thing as before. You want to check in with your hip this way. Make sure you can flex your toes, turn your foot, point your toes. Everything should be mobile, and then apparently you should be able to curve back a little bit too. But for me, I don't know about that now. Okay, once that feels safe, good to go, come up on your knee. Again, make sure that you are stable and straight before you just start the movement. You want to practice the right form and not just what you think it's supposed to look like. Check your form. I'm trying to look in the screen to make sure it's straight. I use the wall or something straight to gauge where I am. So now I'm sitting. I don't know why I can't say sitting today. I'm sitting, coming back up. Back up. Come up this time, I'm going to stay up. I'm going to bring my left leg, the leg that was straight in, align it with my knee, and then deep lunge through. Also, I like to push on my knee inward, outward when I do this too. So I'm going to like open my hip a little bit. Not necessarily when I'm pushing, but I can pause and push. I mean, not when I'm pushing down, but you know, hopefully you know what I mean. If not, try to clarify it. Do 3 more. All right, back down to my foot here. What was I gonna do next? I'm trying to remember before I move, just in case I need to stay up here. I think it was like don't know that I'm ready to do that. There's like an internal, oops, sorry, little bean. Come up here, please. It's like an internal knee tap, something or other. I can't remember what it was though, and I don't want to practice something that's not right. Okay, so that is hips. All the hips, I think. The other one that I do for hips is when I'm standing, you know, and you kind of do these. But honestly, I feel like those are more Pilates style, more the mobility, because like the mobility part is, can you do this and can you do this, right? The answer is yes. If you can't do a free flow through that, then that's why you practice the mobility, in which case the other part is just aerobic, how many times you can do it. So I'm not going to do that for today, but if you don't have this range, if you can't, you know, bring your leg all the way through, you should try that. You should be able to bring your leg all the way through from one side to the other. It's not a hard range. If you feel like bringing your foot up to the door handle is hard, then yes, you have a mobility exercise that you should do. And I'm just demonstrating it right now because I'm like, actually don't know that I've done this on stream. But yeah, this is a range for your legs in this direction, how high you can bring it up to the back, how high you can bring it up to the front. Another way I've done this on stream is to put your foot up against a surface and just kind of come down this way. So that's going to stretch your quad here, which is going to impact the way you bring your leg up and back. You can just do little dips. I'll do 10 here since I already started. Okay, so that's that side. I'm gonna go ahead and do this side now that I said that. I feel like, do I have room? And this is not swinging your foot, by the way. You shouldn't be just going, like, yes, that means you are able to move back and forth, but you're also swinging it so that it's momentum. It's not necessarily coming from your range as much as it's coming from the push. Your hips are probably going back while you do that. So here and here versus just swinging it. I don't know if you can see my hips moving with me. I don't want that. The hips should be straight and square. And again, it's not curving and kicking. It is completely straight through. So pay attention to that too. If you want to make it harder, try to keep your back straight. My leg when it gets to the front is actually not that high. That's more flexibility though, right? Which is part of mobility. So another area to work on. Move to this side, same thing. Your foot is gonna go up top. Scoot over here. Your foot's gonna go up top. Give yourself enough space to dip safely. And again, focus on stretching your quad for this one. Quad specifically. You want to feel it in your quad. And up. I'll let that shake out a little bit. A little tight for me. It feels nice though, I'm not gonna lie. Like, it does have that like sensation of like like the discomfort sensation, but like it still feels like a relieving stretch at the same time. So it's like you're doing something for your body like, you know, like when you get a massage and like think you have like a knot and they're like massaging it out, like it kind of hurts, but you can tell like, oh, this is actually helping me, and it's like, this feels good. So that's how I feel when I'm doing these right now. I don't know if you guys feel that way, but I'm like, this is nice, this is nice. What's the next thing? Okay, so this one came specifically from when I tried to do shuffling like 2 weeks ago on stream. If you were here, you were here. Basically, for Thursdays, I do body things Thursdays, which is pretty much anything that involves the body that's a physical activity. Not just like talking about it, although it could be, I guess. Probably not though, just an idea, you know, something to do. So this is going to be me practicing something I noticed I didn't have range in when I tried to do that activity, which is as much real world applicability as possible. I tried to do something in my regular life that I wanted to do. I had a limitation due to my body, and so now I'm going to move forward with giving that attention so that if I want to continue to do that thing, I can. I'm not just going to quit or be like, oh, I can't do that because I don't have the range anymore. Because the range is there, I just have to bring it back. Alright, so this one is essentially bringing one foot in front of the other. And she's literally, do you see how my dog is? This is what I mean with the precision of how much she does this on purpose. Like, she knows exactly where the camera is, she knows exactly where I'm standing, and she will place herself in the spot specifically to get in the way. So I'm over here. And I think this is called, I don't know what it's called, it's a ballet position, right? But your feet should be able to basically be completely parallel with each other. And right now, mine looks more like the beginning of a Z. You know, it's just like, or the bottom half of a Z. So it's not completely like, this is what it's supposed to look like, this is what mine looks like. I don't know if you can see that. This is what it's supposed to look like, this is what mine looks like. So just doing this and bending, it might look like I'm practicing ballet, but it's actually stretching all through my hips. And it's a motion that, even though I didn't know I was wanting to use, it was a motion that I couldn't do, so it meant I should be able to do it. And I only identified this when I tried to shuffle on stream. So, just the way we discover why or what we can work on. It's not just for looks, it's not just for, you know, mental capacity, it's really just all the things, right? Wellness is just feeling well and being able to do the things you want to do, or being able to do things you don't want to do, but you can do them anyway because your body's ready. I'm going to do like 5 more. I am shaking. I don't know if you can see that, but like my legs are shaking right now. Okay, I'm going to squeeze when I get to the top because it's like actually, my legs are shaking. I don't know if you can see that. Ooh! Okay. So that was that way. Now I'm going to switch my feet the opposite direction. I'm going to do the same thing, but I'm going to wait a little bit. Shake my legs out from that one. It feels nice though. Like, it's like, oh my gosh, I'm helping myself. And it actually, yeah, it's like, honestly, it's like getting a massage. It's like I'm internally massaging myself. Pause. Is this the way I had it before? Yeah, okay. So I'm trying to do a minimum of 10. It would help me too, like if I had something, like I could do this like up against the wall, just to make sure that my alignment is as straight as possible, because right now I can't tell if I'm leaning a little bit or not. Can you guys tell me? Am I leaning into one side or the other? I feel like if my background was white, I could probably tell, but it's like I'm blending into the posters. Oh. It's so juicy. It feels so juicy. I'm like, you don't have to do that. You can just here or here, just stay stable. It looks like I'm doing like a ballet thing, and technically that's true, but it really is stretching my hips out, and that's important. I don't want to listen to you order things on Amazon. Okay. Shake that out, shake that out. Okay, this last one I'm gonna do for the hips and the knees comes from the shuffle. And this one was, again, it was one of those moves. So I was supposed to go like this and then like this. That was the move. So it was here, here, here. And see? And I messed it up. So I need to be able to like come in like this. Now this one was counterintuitive for me and probably for most people because this is buckling your knees, and I feel like under most circumstances that's the worst way to respond to something. The only time I can think where this might be a necessary, safer way to hold your legs is maybe if you ski. And I'm saying that with a grain of salt because I suck at skiing. I would never take advice from me. I have no skill whatsoever. I do not like it. I will not probably ever do it again. Yeah, it's just basically me saying some shit. Maybe if you ski, you can let me know if this is like a thing you have to do. But I feel like you do need to be able to bring your legs, your knees together without bringing your feet together. But yeah, so that's what I'm doing. Also trying to keep my back straight. And this is like stretching out my hips, and it's also because of the dance move that I want to be able to do. Okay. Good. Okay, I'm trying to think if there's another one. Oh, I know what the other one is. It's the final flow. It's the final flow. If you've been here from the beginning, you know that this flow I've been doing since like the second or third week that I started streaming. And it is a collection of the stretches that I wanted to get better at, or the things that were still just like, unfortunately, like hard and uncomfortable for me to do. And this is how I developed my flow method, which is basically to like piece together different stretches that I'm working on into a sequence so that it becomes a flow and that my body is able to pass through them without really even thinking about it. And again, it's like a natural thing for me instead of like, I have to do this specific stretch, right? So the way that this works is I am picking out different stretches. They're the same ones I've been doing. You gotta chill, Zoe. I'm almost done. Like 3 minutes, please. And so this is going to be just those stretches, like I said. If you are following that, I'm supposed to be adding in another mobility exercise, like flow. I found it, by the way, on my phone. It looks so dark. That's why I couldn't find it, because it was like all shadows. So I'm gonna try and like decipher what it is. But I did find the video. I was really sad that I thought I didn't have it. Chill, Zoe. Okay, so here we start. Our knees come up, press, come back down, sit, and then grab, back down, here, here. So the goal for this one's like I really want to be able to do a full camel without it being like such a stretch, and it's definitely still a stretch, like not as bad as it once was, but I want to be able to just hop into it smooth like, you know, like I'm almost there. Oh, I pretty much did it that time. Yup, see how the flow kind of loosens up the range as you go? I'm gonna do one more. She done turned off the. Oh my gosh, this dog. Sometimes it's like she's crazy smart. I don't understand. Okay, so that was Mobility Monday, everybody. I hope that you were able to check out this new time and it worked for you. If it did not work for you and you have a suggestion or you have, something you want to say about it, let me know. But yeah, the plan is every stream is now going to be at 11 a.m. unless otherwise noted. I will try my best. I brought this down. Actually, let me just do it right now. This is how much I procrastinate, because I'll sit here and say I'm going to do it, and then I will go upstairs and I will not do it. I will not think about it until it's time to stream again. And right now what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to update the schedule on my page right now. So that way, I know it's being slow. So that way I will know for sure it says that and there won't be any surprises. Because I do feel bad, like, not showing up when I say I'm going to show up. Even though there's not a lot of you that watch me live, I feel like the least I could do is be there for the people that are trying to be there for me, right? Whether you're here specifically for me or you're just trying to get your exercise on, I don't want to waste anybody's time. So I do appreciate you being here, and that's why I want to update the schedule while I'm on stream. Is that really what I look like? Yeah. Okay. Create a dashboard. How do you guys feel about surfaces? I was kind of weird with my surface. The first surface I got was not, it was just like kind of like a spur of the moment thing. And it broke while I was in grad school, like in the middle of grad school, and I was online, and I was like, oh shit, I need to get something immediately. So I just literally, the only thing I could think of in my head was to buy, and this is so dumb, the only thing I could think of was to buy my, a new surface. You know? I mean, I shouldn't have. I should have bought like a Lenovo or something. I honestly don't really know how to do this. I should know how to do it. Okay, let's see. I need to go to Creator Dashboard, right? Creator Dashboard, and then I need to go to Content. Nope. And then I need to go to Settings, Channel, Schedule, and then I'm going to change the time to 11 a.m. for 1 hour every Monday. Save. And then for Thursdays, as well at 11 for 1 hour. Save. And then on Sundays, we're going to edit for 11, 1 hour, save. Okay, so same exact dates, Sundays, Thursdays, and Mondays, but all of them will be at 11 a.m. until 12 p.m. Pacific time, unless otherwise stated, unless I say something about it. That's the goal. That's the new Solstice switch up that I have titled this stream today. So yeah, thank you for being here. I hope you're able to get something out of it. I hope it's sunny where you are. I hope you get to enjoy the weather while you can. Bye-bye.